Okay, so hopefully this is all working. I'm so sorry. Like, I had a long day and had some major stuff when I got home trying to fix whatever was going on with the game and the computer and also just a bunch of other stuff. Um, yeah, sorry. Um, oh, and yeah, so sorry that stream started later than it meant to today. Yeah, I just yeah, I'm a little stressed out. So sorry. Yeah, like I started stream up twice and then ended it. Like, yeah, I can't. I didn't know how I was to fix it without like, cause you like, and I had to do a couple other things just to fix the everything. So it's all fixed now. Everything should look okay. I'm not sure what happened or what I did that the screen capture was just not working, but I'm here now. Um, and things are fine now. I think so. I hope so. So I just got confirmation from my mod that everything's working fine now. So thank you very much for your patience and time. Like, I know I'm supposed to start at 7. Did not start at 7. I also could learn how to like um promote this better. I'm not good at it. I will eventually learn, maybe by next week. But yeah, thanks so much for having some patience and like again, like just major stuff had some issues, but like stream should be starting now. Anyone who's joining in now, thank you so much for your patience. Yeah, I've just had a day um, with everything. Uh, anyone, just let me know if everything looks okay on your end. If anything like doesn't look all that good, or audio is just weird because I'm trying out this new. I don't know what this thing is called, a dongle. So it should separate my headphone and like mic audio, so it's not coming from just my computer speakers this time, and hopefully might better the whole sound of my smoke alarms. I promise they don't need batteries; they're just like that. But yeah, so without any further ado, I'll just go ahead and start stream, um, and just kind of full switch over to full game. Uh, Sav is not Serbian. Thank you very much for following. I appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into where we just left off. Move over to full game for now. Yeah, I'm excited to pick up where we left off with Seyka and Aloy. Oh, I need to load up where I was. I just restarted. Let me. I need to. Let me quick save so I can quick load instead. Yes, I would like to. Uh, yeah, loading will. Yeah, I would like to do this. I accidentally messed up. I fully messed up. I don't know why it's not letting me quick. Okay, let me. Oh, it's kind of not letting me, huh? Let me 1 second. No, I've run into another problem. Okay, give me a second. Just save it, and there we go. Oh, which by the way, I forgot that I didn't realize that there's a whole about page on the game, which which I didn't read out for anyone who was probably curious. 1 second. Let me let me just start over again and quit because I can hear the sound of the text going. Give me 1 second. One moment. I got to fix things again. Okay, now we're back. And this time I'll actually load it the first time when I go through the about. Also, I realized that I had the game capture audio muted as well. So whoopsie daisy. I am not on my A game today. So give me this time. This time I'm starting. But first off, I would like to go through the about page that's on this game that I didn't realize that was something I could have read before. So if for anyone entering in who doesn't have any idea what's going on, first off, focus on the heart is a effort like is the act of pure um just enjoyment of the games, a passion project made by those by the Focus on the Heart team. You can find them on Tumblr and Itch.io. Um, Focus on the Heart is a fan-made game. It says here it's Focus on the Heart is a Horizon visual novel fan project set around 3 months after the events of Aloy's adventures in the ruins of Los Angeles. During this time, Aloy has been recovering from an injury and poring over data points with Beta and Silence, searching for anything to help prepare for the looming threat of Nemesis, until she receives a message regarding a companion's goings-on that piques her interest. Facing physical challenges and emotional choices, Aloy will be in for an adventure unlike any she's experienced before. So this is a more or less a dating sim, at least in the way I would describe it. Um, it was made with RenPy 8.2.2.2405. I'm not gonna read all of that. I'm sorry. This program contains, free software under a number of licenses, including the MIT license and GNU Lesser General Public License. Like complete list of software, including links to full source code, can be found here. Which they were very thorough. So that's amazing that they were just so thorough with it and have a complete list. Honestly, what I've seen from this game already is just it's wonderful. The music, the art, and we have different the variety of different fan artists in the game. Boobaloo from Tumblr, I know, is one of them, who is the main artist, I believe, for the Aaron plotline. But this is a dating sim set after Forbidden West, and you can just choose quite a variety of beloved characters from the games that you can date. Not every single one, but if you check out my last stream, you'll see which ones. But yeah, I chose the Seyka route, and without any further ado, we're going to continue that route now. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry for any delays, but thank you very much for your attention. So yeah, so we're gonna go right ahead and go right back in. Yeah, I almost forgot about how beautiful this spread here is. Apparently every relationship will have a photo gallery, which this I think is one of them for Seyka's route. But last we left off, we had just finished fighting a bile gut. Aloy had run off to find Seyka after they had been attacked by some kind of her and her ship had been attacked by a mysterious machine. Seyka had ran off because everyone was just on her about it because of her connection with Aloy. Aloy went to find her, they fought a bile gut, and then they started to be very cute lesbians together. But now they're returning back to everyone else, and that's where we left off. So, continuing on, Aloy waits for Seyka to climb expertly into the skiff. The distance gives Aloy pause, but as soon as Seyka starts up her boat, she has to admire how naturally Seyka navigates the vessel. Her fingers flit over the controls with the rhythmic control of a familiar dance. With some well-rehearsed adjustments, Seyka is off, skating easily over the water. I don't want to make the easy joke right now about how she's admiring how naturally Seyka navigates the vessel and how her fingers flit over the controls. I'm not going to say anything. Oh, obviously I'm not. Mostly. Mostly I'm not going to say anything. I kind of just did. You can infer what I mean. Aloy mounts her Sunwing. It suddenly feels too big to sit on alone, but at least she has plenty of room to make good on her promise to Seyka and watch out for anything that might mean her harm. Feels too big to sit alone, Aloy? I'm guessing you want her arms wrapped around your waist, right? Is that what you're saying? Considering that you were admiring her fingers earlier, and it's not so much because you feel a particular way about it, you obviously just want her on the Sunwing with you, right? I wonder if that's gonna be like something in the third game. I can't remember if in the second game people would like double up on Sunwings, but that'd be kind of cool if it does. If it wasn't in the the second game and and in Forbidden West and it happens in the third game, I wouldn't be opposed to any of that. I need to replay Forbidden West because obviously I'm forgetting what it is that I'm doing. Oh, oh, we're right into another choice now. What should Aloy say to Seyka? Acknowledge the silence. Talk about the mission. Acknowledge the silence. Stay silent. So, like, acknowledge the silence would probably be her going, like, not much to talk about, huh? Like, something like that, and that'd be kind of awkward. Talking about the mission sounds kind of clinical. It would be kind of distant, right? Staying silent is its own kind of thing. Like, silence is golden, but, like, is it really? Thing is, so far on this route, I've been continuously making the middle choices. And I kind of... We're gonna go ahead and talk about the mission. I feel like that is, like a sense of distance. But, like... I've been choosing mostly the middle decisions this entire route. So let's try and talk about the mission. Incoming focus call. Sorry, there aren't many ways to warn ahead of time. I suppose not. Not really been an issue before. Never thought I'd be wearing one myself. Now that you do, how do you like it? The pause stretches on, to the point that Aloy doesn't expect an answer. Sometimes, but I wish it had helped when I first saw that machine. Aloy looks closely down at Seyka. From above, she thinks she can make out the tired slouch to Seyka's profile. Sorry, I know. I'm holding a sacred, forbidden relic with generations of knowledge. I should have more to say than that. I just have a lot on my mind. Having a few answers would have been nice. Of course. Is there any more you remember from the attack? Any weapons it used, or a cauldron symbol? No, I've told you everything I know. She almost sounds expectant. Again, that silence. Since when did the quiet that Aloy used to love being left to feel so wrong? You're right to go after this thing. With the two of us, we'll be able to take it down and get all the information there is on it. So your people will be prepared if another one ever shows up again. Not just killing machines, but passing on information, huh? This really is diviner stuff. It can be difficult to figure out how to tell people something important, especially in your situation, when you just want to neutralize an immediate threat. Yeah, I guess it is. But we'll have the element of surprise. I hope so. I should keep her talking. Assure her we'll have some kind of plan of attack. Okay, Seyka is kind of like, okay, so it is maybe better not to keep the silence, but maybe the Seyka sounds like she doesn't super want to talk. It sounds like she's just overwhelmed by, like, all the stuff that people are expecting from her now that, you know, she's associated with an ancestor, which everyone seems to consider Aloy as one, a living ancestor, unless she corrects them, which some people probably are not going to get the message, even if she tells them straight to the face, I'm not a living ancestor. And Seyka, like, considering what, like, was how some of the Quen are and how some of the political machinations are, too, like, she was just a Marine before this. I think this is kind of an interesting way to take her storyline, like, how she'll go, like, her character will be going, like, forward from Forbidden West into possibly the third game. This is, like, I know this is not, like, speculation. The third game is its own separate thing, focusing on Aloy and her various relationships with different people in a romantic way, mostly. But, like, considering that Seyka was just a Marine and her whole job was just that, and considering how the Quen like withhold information from everyone, and expectations are like placed on mostly just those who have more power or themselves diviners who dole out information. Seyka now being in that position when she was not before, I believe, yeah, it can be overwhelming. I'm starting to wonder if this is like a good idea. Aloy over here is trying to like act as a distraction using work as the way to do that, but I don't know if that's. We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll find out. But like, I don't know if that's the perfect way to like distract Seyka, or if it's even something she even wants to talk about. But we'll go forward. We'll go forward. I think your rope caster will be valuable here. If we either tie it down or keep ourselves close to it, the machine can't hide away. We'll get a good look at what we're dealing with. I can't speak. I can't speak. I'll be the one fire and drawing the fire this time. That's not a bad idea, as long as it doesn't pull you or my skiff down to the depths. Ancestors willing. That's encouraging. Okay, maybe this was a good choice? Thank you for not writing me off as in over my head. Okay, maybe this was the right approach then. Considering that everyone kind of like thought Seyka was overstepping when she tried to go save her sister. I don't know. I might have misinterpreted things. Of course, Seyka. Their journey continues, Aloy silently scouring the water surface for any sign of movement. She doesn't know exactly what she's looking for, but based on what Seyka said, it would be big enough to spot from the air. Her eyes flick to a dark shape to the right, only to relax when a lone snap mob breaks the surface. No sign yet. Suddenly, her focus pings. See that? See what? Ahead of us, to the left. Aloy follows Seyka's directions and is greeted with the sight of a hazy plume of smoke in the distance. She squints, seeing it curling up from a large, solitary, crumbling building. Looks like an old world ruin. Seems it sustained some damage. Significant, too. Could be the machine. The damage looks recent. Maybe it's close by. Possibly? Maybe we should take a look. If it was there, we might be able to pick up his trail. Good point. Sounds like a plan. The pair turn their respective crafts toward the ruin, Aloy reaching it first and bringing her sunwing in for landing on the rubble-coated beach. She hops off and does a quick inventory of her weaponry while she waits for Seyka to arrive, then takes in her surroundings. Even in its dilapidated state, the structure is an imposing one. Multiple floors are visible from a distance. What once must have been large windows now stare blankly like empty eye sockets. Ugh. Aloy has no doubt the building was even bigger back in the time of the old ones, but now it lays broken and crumbling, the destruction only having been hastened by whatever had damaged it. She hears Seyka's skiffs approaching and turns as the small craft smoothly slides partially onto the beach. Seyka steps off onto the sand, weapon in hand as she meets Aloy's gaze. Have you found anything? No. I was waiting for you. There's a pause as the two look at each other. Seyka looks disappointed, but Aloy catches a hint of blush on her cheeks. Like, it's very faint, but yeah, you see it. Fair enough. Let's get going, shall we? She strides swiftly off towards the main structure, Aloy hurrying to keep up. Okay, I'll be 1 second. 1 second. That noise is the. I'm gonna lower that a little bit. The sound of like them walking on grass was very loud in my ears. Give me a second. Okay, I'm going back now. The walk is quiet. Too quiet. Aloy expects to have come across at least a few machines, but there's none to be found. Seyka's tense posture indicates she's noticed the same thing. Aloy thinks to comment on it, but her thoughts swiftly change when they make it over a brow of a hill and are greeted with the full scale of the building before them. The damage has torn a massive hole in the wall, exposing a vast room filled with a plethora of strange structures. Aloy is briefly intrigued by the location, before heading inside and scanning the area for any clues. I need to breathe. Oh, we're inside the spooky building. And this looks very much like a lot of the old world structures we ended up having to explore. It's dark and wet in here, Seyka. Hold my hand. Out of the corner of her eye, she spots Seyka approaching the opposite side of the room, staring up perplexed at the massive cylindrical structure in front of her. Cylindrical structure? Wait, what is this? Are we at NASA? Wait, where's NASA? Shit, I don't know where NASA is. Is this just a rocket launch place? It's cylindrical. The cylinder. I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, like it's like the claw or something. I don't know. Seyka, I haven't seen anything like this before. It looks like some kind of ancient craft, maybe. Hard to tell. I mean, Aloy, at the end of Forbidden West, you saw what a rocket looked like. Actually, no, both of you saw what a rocket looked like in Burning Shores. This is not a rocket? Seyka, you saw one. Okay, so what is this? We'll find out. Let's keep going. Try scanning it. This isn't important. Let's see when my focus turns up. I love the let's see what my focus turns up is just that straight out of the game. I don't think this is not important, so I'm drawn to let's see what my focus turns up. What does Aloy tell Seyka about the building? Let's see what my focus turns up. Oh, give me 1 second. I want to cough. Alright, thank you so much. I didn't want to like cough into anyone's headphones like loudly. Aloy stops her search and approaches Seyka, eyeing the machine with similar curiosity. Want me to take a look? When Seyka looks at her confused, Aloy indicates her focus. Seyka's eyes widen in recognition. Oh, I didn't even think of that. But you have your own now. Surely you've thought of using it on other things? Seyka looks embarrassed and shakes her head. The last time I used it was when I would talk to Alva about the status of the fleet. I know it can be used for other things, Alva said as much, but it never occurred to me to use it for anything other than missions. Gathering information for personal curiosity's sake feels wrong. Oh, I kind of like that a lot. Considering that, like, information has always been so divided, like, only this person can know this. Like, weren't there 2 navigators in Burning Shores that without the other, because like they couldn't navigate whatsoever? Because only one had half of the information, the other had the other half. Like, the Quen were so stringent about who had what information and where. Like, they very much are the definition of knowledge is power. And considering that Seyka had been raised in such a place, having a thing that can give you so much information all of a sudden is very much, yeah, why wouldn't she feel a bit conflicted about using it for anything that wasn't specifically what she had to do? You know, that's kind of crazy. Alright, let's see. Okay, let me reread this. Okay. Look at the little, like, dripping everywhere. What is that in the distance? I don't know what those things are over here. Like, lamps? I don't know why, like, I'm sorry. I stared at it for a second in silence because I was like, what is that? What is that? It's probably not anything, like, abnormal, and I'm focusing on it for no damn reason. Aloy hesitates, her previous amusement shifting as she feels a twinge of guilt. Of course Seyka wouldn't think to use the focus for anything other than missions. That's why she'd taken it in the first place. As weird as it feels to admit, Aloy has to acknowledge that her own journey with the focus has been a privileged one. She'd been able to use it however she saw fit, without fears of rules, regulations, and taboo. Even her upbringing as an outcast aided in that, aside from Ross' dislike of the device, of course. Yeah, Ross was like, that's from the Forbidden Ones, Aloy, you can't use that. And she just kept doing it, and he was just... It's funny to me, they kind of really said something about Ross, that, like, even though he himself understood that the focus obviously was a relic from the old ones, and that's forbidden, and they shouldn't be doing that, Aloy just kind of always had it obviously on her face, and was always using it, and Ross never took it from her. Considering that she reached to adulthood with the same focus, like the entirety of her life, up until it got broken at some point in, I forget which part, it was in Horizon Zero Dawn at some point she got it broken, and she got a new one. I think it was in Forbidden West she got a new one. But, yeah, it was the same focus that she got from the Happy Birthday Big Man dude. Like, and Ross never took it from her. Like, he may have been, like, a... not necessarily stern father, but he never denied her it, despite being so... I mean, anyone who's played the game knows Ross and, like, played the games, does know that, like, he left the Sacred Lands, came back and begged to at least be within sight of the Sacred Lands. That's how devout he was. Knowing that he had broken a rule. Like, maybe that's why he never, like, took it from Aloy or broke it. She was already an outcast, and Ross already understood that he had broken a rule. Oh man. I wouldn't mind like a prequel game with like Ross or something. Like, or at least, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because honestly, PlayStation keeps doing these things where they Horizon Lego, Horizon Hunter's Gathering instead of giving us a third game already. Which I mean, like, I am excited for extra content, but it is also not what I want. They saw a cash cow and they decided to make everything about it. Ugh. Like, I would love to be the person who's like, oh, more cake. But I'm also like, but... I do like cake, but I want tres leches, not chocolate. I'll eat the chocolate one. But anyway. I'm gonna keep going. She reaches out to put a hand on Seyka's shoulder, but hesitates before reluctantly bringing it back to her side. She wants to offer some sort of comfort to Seyka, but she doesn't know how. She fears she risks coming off across as patronizing or condescending, and that is the last thing she wants to do. Instead, she sidles up to Seyka and takes in the sight before her. Ooh. The more she looks about, the more she realizes that the crafts surrounding them were propped up on the stands, as if on display. Intrigued, she taps her focus and looks around. Digital displays flicker into being around her, and she lets out a soft noise of surprise as she reads them. What is it? Looks like this place was some sort of museum? Oh, so is that what that cluster is over there? It's just like lights or something? That probably is what that was. Like, I don't know, they look weird. They look weird! She glances at Seyka, who stares back at her confused. It's a place where the old ones would gather items from the past and put them on display. To learn from them, I think. I have to wonder if anyone learned to give things back to where they were supposed to be. But, you know, how museums are. You know what I mean? You sound like you've seen one of them before. Aloy nods. Oh yeah, the museum over there in the Banuk. Like, there was like a museum over there in Banuk lands where it was like, I think it was about like certain animals. Wow, it makes me incredibly sad. Like, that certain animals, they just didn't have the time to like put in So that's why we only have a particular set of animals. Like bears don't exist in Horizon Zero Dawn anymore, and that's sad. That's real sad. Aloy nods. Yeah, there's one further inland to the northeast. It's adopted by the tribe there, the Tanakh. Why did I forget about that one too? That's a whole ass museum as well. Well, like the one that's in the Banuk lands, that's not a museum, is it? It's more like a quick little information because like it's all in Yellowstone. That's where the Banuk lands is in Yellowstone. So they have little displays of like it's not a mini museum like when you go to Sequoia and it's just a gift shop and a mini little thing of like stuff that you can talk about and look at. It's different, is it? I don't know. I don't know if it's different, but you're right. How did I forget about the Tanakh Museum too? All the military. Um, it's been adopted by the tribe there, the Tanakh, as a sacred ground. Excuse me, I burped. I'm sorry. Before that, it paid tribute to a group of soldiers that fought in something called the Battle of the Mojave, I think. I found a few scraps of data on it. I see. And what about this place? Why did they gather all these things here? Ayla's eyes flicking about before settling on one of the larger signs. It is hard to read as it glitches in and out of existence, but eventually she pieces it together. Maritime Museum. Huh. It looks like a history of sea navigation? Ooh, fitting. Seyka's posture straightens, her face brightening with interest. Sea navigation. So these crafts around us, they are crafts the ancestors used to explore the ocean? Like my people do? Looks like it. There were probably many more here before the place fell to ruin. Wow. Imagine if some of these still worked. What my people could learn from them. She trails off, gaze returning to the craft with renewed interest. I kind of see this is I love this that like Seyka is just so humanity has just a natural born interest in like they have a natural born curiosity, and I do love this. It makes me feel weird whenever I meet someone who's just incredibly incurious because all I can think a lot of the time is like, who killed that in you? Why aren't you curious about where this comes from or why? I mean, yeah, there's a difference between just being okay that things are the way they are and you don't really need to learn more about it if that's not your area of interest in particular. But if you have no curiosity whatsoever about anything at all, and you're just eh, I don't know. That's weird to me. Like, what killed that in you? Why are you just like that? I don't know. I've not met many people who are completely incurious. Honestly, it's close to I think two, and I think they were just kind of like, I don't care about anything about me and myself. They weren't bad people. Just I don't know. I didn't know them that well. It just feels weird. Sorry to anyone who doesn't like feel much curiosity towards things. I don't know if that's an actual thing for a lot of people, or maybe I just didn't know them well enough to know if they actually had curiosity. But I just like how cute she looks and how happy she seems to be. Like, oh wow, like imagine how much people could learn. Honestly, it reminds me a little bit of Alva. Seika's not Alva, but I like imagining her and Alva just like having long conversations about like, I hope they talk about this. I know that the ship here and the route here is Aloy and Seyka, and I'm not talking about it in a shippy way, but I just really like the thought of more Seyka Alva interaction. If that's the case, what's the deal with this one? It doesn't look like any ship I've ever seen. No sails, no deck, just a tube with a dome on one end. Weird. Iron lung? No. Sorry, is Markiplier in there? Hello? Mark? They're not no, it can't be. There's no blood here yet. No, I'm sorry, no one's gonna get hurt. Sorry, I watched Iron Lung like not 2 weeks ago for Valentine's Day. It was really good, actually. So, but that's got to be like a submarine, right? It's just a tube. That's what the cylinder is, right? It's just like, is it just hoisted up? I once went to a Viking museum. It's just like old Viking vessels and stuff like that. It's in Denmark. She's like weird. Actually, how do submarines work again? I want to look that up later. Or I can look that up now. Aloy scans the nearby display with her focus, her brows rising slightly in interest. I mean, the game also probably will describe it just now, so maybe I don't have to look it up. Thank you, game. Thank you, writers of Focus of the Heart. You are amazing. Aloy says here it was a submersible. This thing didn't sail on the water, it dived beneath the surface. Okay, so as long as it's not the tin can that exploded underwater. I need to stop doing this. Wait, I don't want to. I'm sorry. I forgot what that one was called right now because I'm too busy laughing at my own dumbassery. Just don't get in it if you think it's not seaworthy. You know what I mean? It died beneath the surface. It's for sneaky time stuff. You know. Also for just going underwater and just like, I would love to meet some more marine biologists. Like someone's. This reminds me of like a webcomic I've been reading called Tiger Tiger. Main character Levitica. She's just crazy for sea sponges. That's all she wants to learn about. She steals her brother's ship, dresses up like him, just so she could sail it to the new world and go study sea sponges. The woman is brilliant, but that's her only interest, and she will invent and do everything that she can just to get sea sponges. I recommend reading the webcomic. It's very fun. The art style is very good. The art is really great too. I'm digressing. Anyway, moving on. There's a beat of silence. Aloy turns to look at Seyka, whose face bears a conflicted expression. So, a bunch of people sat inside this metal tube as it went underwater? Sounds claustrophobic. See? Yeah? Right? Well, who would get into one of these things if they knew it wasn't secure? Like, it is claustrophobic for one, but also, why would you get in it if you know it's not seaworthy? I'm sorry, I'm back onto the tin can and soda can exploding underwater. It didn't explode, by the way. I think it imploded. Like, but it does sound claustrophobic. I don't think I would want to be in a submarine if it actually went underwater for any length of time. I've been on boats. At least one boat. Two boats? Two boats. Two boats. I've been on two boats. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the water already, I like the sea. The water already is kind of frightening to some degree. Going under not water... Tactically, though, it does make sense. If the craft was just under the surface, it'd be harder to detect by enemies. Could sneak by or quickly rise to the surface to launch an attack. Yeah, sneaky. Aloy reads on and shakes her head. Doesn't look like it was used just under the surface, or for military use either. Oh, so it was for like marine biology stuff? Please tell me it was for marine biology stuff. Are you guys gonna put a joke about the tin can in this? When did the tin can thing happen? When did this game come out? Then how deep did it go? How low can you go? Yeah, I don't know. The numbers depicted on the display don't seem real to Aloy. She has no real frame of reference, but reads them out to Seyka all the same. It says here it was built to dive hundreds of feet below the surface. Thousands even. 1,000 leagues under the sea? I just forgot the name of the guy who wrote that. Jules Verne! Jules Verne! Again, silence. Aloy doesn't need to look this time to know that Seyka has moved well beyond being confused at this revelation. Thousands? I don't even know what that would look like. Going down that far, I can't even imagine. She looks over at Aloy, concern etched across her face. Imagine if something went wrong while you were down that fort. And listen, like, you were just talking about, like, the military capabilities of this, right? But all I'm thinking is the tin can. I'm very sorry to the young life that was lost that definitely shouldn't have been on that thing. The other adults, though, knew fucking better. And I would not make light of the child, but the other two, But anyway, yes. Like if something went wrong when you were that far down, you wouldn't stand a chance. You drown. You drown. Iron. I don't understand why anyone gets in one of those things and stays in there. And like using that for military purposes, you get blown up in that thing. At least if you were in a ship, you could like dive overboard, and sure, you'd probably be floating for like a long time, but at least you probably wouldn't have a guarantee of drowning. Actually, do they have? I need to. No, I'm just suddenly thinking I need to like do more research on submarines. Yeah, not a nice way to go. Ooh, is Ayla triggered? She did almost drown because of whatever machine that got her in like San Diego, right? Was it San Diego? It was in San Diego, right? That she almost got pulled under by a tentacle. Wrong anime. And I'm sorry, I've been around people who keep saying that whenever tentacles are on the screen for any reason, they keep saying, "Oh, she's in the wrong anime," and now it's coming out of my mouth. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not a nice way to go. If it was a military craft, I could at least try to rationalize it. The depth could be used for detection, maybe, but you said it wasn't for military use. What was it used for? What reason could there possibly be to dive that deep? Curiosity. I assume that is for exploring the the ocean floor. Marine biologists, I salute you. You're not gonna believe this. Is it sea sponges? After all the unbelievable things we faced together already? Try me. It says here it was used for entertainment purposes. No! 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 Well, I mean, if it was that far in the future, they would probably have technology enough to just take people underwater, under the sea. Like, no, no, no. I gotta not do that. Miggy's gonna snipe me. Just to look at. Honestly, would I take an underwater tour to see fish? Yeah, I would. That would be beautiful. I could experience Finding Nemo. That makes sense. I'm thinking the tin can, but like, why wouldn't they? They're already trying to think of like going up into space for space tours. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't they? They already have aquariums. Why wouldn't they have a submersible to just go underwater? People snorkel. People scuba dive. Love looking at reefs. I like when I said that I went on a boat one time, two times. The second time was because I went whale watching. You're joking, right? You can't possibly be telling me that people dive that far down in this thing for their amusement? In what world could that be entertaining? Diving that deep in a metal tube with one tiny window and no escape if things went wrong? What sort of person would do that? What was the purpose of it? Well, Seyka, the tragedy of it is there was a lot more fish in the world before then. We lots of pretty fish. We couldn't save them all. Damn you, Ted Faro. And you probably would have known about all those teeming fish if Ted Faro had freaking deleted. Well, I mean, they did recover a copy of Apollo, I think, in Forbidden West, so that information I think will start spreading, and it'll take a while. But it's really pretty down there. It really is, and also it is for their entertainment. I'm really hoping it was like fish tours. It was like, hey, would you like to go explore the ocean like an aquarium thing? Please be that. To learn, for knowledge. For knowledge. It's in a museum. Ailey continues reading, shaking her head. The more she reads, the worse it gets. She shouldn't be surprised by the lengths the old ones would go to achieve things, but this feels bizarre, even by their standards. She goes back over a sentence before glancing over at Seyka again. Looks like they used it to visit places underwater. Like the Titanic! It's been 80 years. What kind of places? Looks like a few deep sea areas to look at the creatures that live down there. Some reefs. Oh, okay, you know, this makes me feel better. Yes, for entertainment, but like, oh my gosh, you're both military minded people. I need you to meet Dr. Stone style, somebody who has like an intimate knowledge of just the animals. I feel like Aloy has like she's ran into some people who have like what was that one trader guy in Horizon Zero Dawn that you meet in Meridian whose interest was in like cups. He was just like, if you find any of these cups and these mugs, I think these were for like washing one's beard. Some people like, you don't think they were made for drinking? Oh, that's preposterous. Like, I really hope you find more scholars whose whole thing isn't like, listen, I know there's a lot. I know she's run into scholars who like are like trying to study the old ones and the ancient things. I want her to run into one motherfucker who's trying desperately to learn about the world as is. I just needed to run into a single marine biologist or just like or just somebody who's like really into bugs. You know what I mean? Someone who really loves the foxes and is like, we have exactly one particular fox, but I found a variation because evolution happens. I know we have like a couple foxes. It takes billions of years, but come on. But it seems the places that made the most money were diving down to old shipwrecks. Of course, it was shipwrecks. Wait, is this a reference to it? Because the tin can was didn't the tin can go underwater because it wanted to see the Titanic? It was because it wanted to see the Titanic, right? I swear to God. To recover things? Bring back relics from the past? If it was entertainment purposes, they wouldn't be touching anything. But some did go down to study the shipwrecks, that is true. But I I don't think this one was doing that. No, just to look at them. So they would dive down that far, putting themselves at risk just to look at the remnants of a treasure. I'm starting to really think that this is about the tin can. When did this happen? Can I coordinate when the dates are? Seems like it. Seyka takes several steps back, her interest morphing openly to disdain. She shakes her head. When a ship goes down, so many lives can be lost with them. There are really people out there who consider diving to see an underwater graveyard as entertainment. Ugh, I really think this is about the tin can. This is absolutely about the tin can. Oh god. Some of the things that we do nowadays probably would seem just abhorrently like fascist, like frivolous to those who lived their lives back then. Well, I mean, they would just look at a lot of stuff that we're doing like that's fucking witchcraft. That's magic. But like but like I mean, there's so many moments in the Horizon like franchise series, not series, there's not a third game out. Uh, where Aloy just feels disgust for like some of the frivolousness of the old ones. Like greed and stupidity is like a lot. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. She glances at Aloy. And you said the owners of this made money during these dives? People paid to do this? Some people paid billions of dollars to do that shit. I'm sorry. I'm taking so long to get through this because I'm just going over the tin can incident. Oh no. Oh no. I drink water. Oh no, no. Yeah, some people pay to do this. Just imagine. I don't know what the equivalent of like a million something dollars would be in like shards. Because I don't know if there's like any inflation. Oh my god. Please, like, you guys would hate inflation. I had a thought. I'm not saying it. Yep, says here tickets for these once in a lifetime opportunities were sold to the highest bid. This is! This absolutely is the tin can! the truth. Are you actually referencing this? Drop the track, Kendrick. No. No amount of shards in the world could convince you to do something like that. The fact that people spent so much money to do something so disrespectful, once in a lifetime opportunity. Ha. No, it is. It absolutely is. They don't need to tell me shit. I bet my life on it that this is about that in a museum too. Oh no. I wonder who paid the museum to display this submersible. Oh no. Like, thing is also, they did say that no one's supposed to go down to the Titanic. They've already studied everything they need to do about it. Leave it alone. It is a watery graveyard. Poor souls. They were told not to do it for multiple reasons, not just because the submersible was not seaworthy. It was unsafe, and it was run by a controller. What was it? A PlayStation controller? Xbox controller? I don't remember, but that's how they drove it. That is ridiculous. I don't know if there's some kind of afterlife, but like if there is, I really hope that when they walked up to the receptionist in the afterlife, if there is something like that, because that implies some kind of bureaucracy, which is probably awful. But anyway, I really hope that when they walked up to the receptionist in the end, and the receptionist asked, "What are you here for?" And they said, well, I was in a submersible, and they looked at their notes and went, "Ah, yes, the idiots who decided to go down to see the Titanic. Welcome. You probably would have had more time on your lives had you not done that. There was at least a 5%, maybe less, chance that you wouldn't have done that, but you doubled down." Oh my god. Oh my god. Next thing you're gonna do is sneak an Ever Given joke in here. I swear to God. Seyka turns away from the submersible, her eyes meeting Aloy's. She sighs heavily. Honestly, my heart is yours. For focus on the heart, writers. My heart is completely yours. I will play every single round of this game, no matter how fucking long it takes me. I will. Honestly, you know what? Next paycheck, I'll fucking donate to you if you take any, just for that, joke. I'll donate at least a small sum of money. I said it here. Hold me to it, please. This has made my day. I was not having a good time of it before the stream started, and even worse so because of all the scuff. This has made me incredibly happy. Thank you. Oh no. Seyka turns away from the submersible, her eyes meeting Aloy's. She sighs heavily. The more I learn about the ancestors, the more selfish they seem. What would cause anyone to do something like this? To think it was a good idea in the first place? And they're still. I don't want to say this. I really don't, because it's like African American vernacular English, and I shouldn't be saying it, but the only thing that's coming to mind is that they're reading them for filth. They're just like. Just imagine. Who, the more I learn about the ancestors, the more selfish they seem. What's funny is the ancestors that you guys learn about that are this selfish and idiotic are the richest ones. Ted Farrow, fucking Tilda Vandermeer, fucking Laundra. They're smart, but they're also so fucking dumb because they're not any less human. And money and power corrupts, and also it like enshitifies so bad. I don't know. Ted Farrell was not a genius. It's not as neither is Elon Musk. They're fucking idiots who had a trust fund. Oh my god. I don't know, hun. Ayla looks up at the machine and shrugs, shaking her head. You know what's funny is I haven't stuttered as much as I usually do in these playthroughs. I'm just so much more confident in speaking now because I'm just delighted. I don't think I've actually stuttered over any of these lines other than just to laugh. Based on everything I've learned, there seems to be a point where a person becomes so rich that they believe they're invincible. Immune to consequence. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it absolutely is about the tin can. That yeah, that fully. If I wasn't convinced before, this convinced me completely. That is amazing. I can't believe you fuckers did this. I cannot believe I can't. I'm sorry I called you fuckers. I can't believe y'all did this. This is amazing. She bitterly thinks back to Londra, to Eric, Ted Farrow, all these people so used to throwing money and influence at their problems to solve them, only to bring their doom upon themselves and drag innocence down with them. This trip, do you think the Zeniths ever partook in it? No, this trip happened long before the Zeniths were born. But if they were alive during it, I would assure you that some of them probably would have done it. Some of them would have done it. Oh god. I know this is supposed to be serious. Because, like, honestly, again, what Ted Farrow did killed the entire planet. Not just humanity, but the entire fucking planet. And if it wasn't for Elizabeth, Aloy's fucking clone mother, none of you would exist. Because she just had the integrity and the intelligence and the kindness to move it forward and the power. I. It's okay, guys. It's okay. This shit is bad, but they're good people. Just not the rich ones, for them, like not the rich ones. It wouldn't surprise me. Something like this probably would be considered a status symbol among their peers. I stuttered again. A status symbol. Ugh. Oh my god, yeah, like the I don't know if this is true or not. I learned this off the internet. The internet can lie. It can lie to you. Someone would lie on the internet? Really? Yes, they would. They lie to you. Don't yeah. Like even if you're in a parasocial relationship at all, like you are not immune to parasocialism. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Can I just talk about this for a second? I keep getting distracted, but like Dropout recently doing a fucking cop show with like the Rookie, right? Like which is funded by the LAPD. Like and listen, someone told me I saw someone say like who watches the Rookie? Apparently a lot of people. It's on ABC and apparently it's one of their most popular shows. It has like 7 fucking seasons about the Rookie, which apparently like the way it starts is Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion comes in as this 50-year-old like dumbass who tries to go into the police force, really old, is the Rookie, and then when he's not the Rookie anymore, the rest of the show is about him, the old Rookie, training new rookies. And that's just the thing of it. And they're doing a crossover with the Rookie despite having multiple merchandise that basically says fuck the cops. Like, why would you have a crossover with the cop show funded by the LAPD, who you denounced for helping ICE? And shit, I'm sorry, no one's here for this rant. No one's here for this rant. They're here for Focus on the Heart. I'm just sorry. It makes me think of this because like they deal with this in the storyline. You're dealing with it in the storyline. You referenced a real life event. And Dropout's a smaller drop in the bucket. But like considering the things that other people, rich people, do all the time, and considering Ted Farrow's whole very obviously a reference to like Elon Musk as well, people really love taking pot shots at Elon Musk. Like not just Ted Farrow, but they're also fucking Miles Braun and the Glass Onion, very much more or less being this amalgamation of dumbass tech billionaires, mostly Elon Musk. Maybe it's because it's so easy to make fun of his dumbass. Oh my god. A status symbol. But yeah, I digress, but what I was going to talk about was about how rich people, like how the royals and like the English royals, like England, the queen, then the king, them, that how when spices got popular, the ones that they stole They specifically stole from the places they colonized because they specifically wanted the things from their resources and took that from them. Decided to not enjoy any kind of seasoning anymore because it was so readily available to the masses that they had to find a way to differentiate themselves from the masses. So they were like, ugh, spices, how plebeian. I can't have a single touch of flavor on my food or else it might make me uncommon. How disgusting. It's so stupid. It's really dumb. Anyway, moving on. Seyka shakes her head and glances around her, letting out a deep sigh before gesturing to the rest of the room. I think that's enough learning about the stupidity of rich people. We should probably get back to finding the machine. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we should, because I'm getting hella distracted thinking about the majority of stupidity that rich people have done. I'm not even going to get into Trump or any of the other ones. Aloy nods, turning away from the flickering displays. The longer she spends here, the more the mistakes of the past pile up, crowding her mind. No. Sounds good. You go left, I go right? On it. The two split up, combing the rubble for anything that might be a clue to the machine's whereabouts. They continue their search well into the afternoon, but the clues are frustratingly few and far between. The direction of the destruction suggests that whatever did it continued south, but the identity of the culprit is impossible to decipher from that alone. Eventually, Aloy calls off the search, the pair reconvening on the beach they landed on. Disappointment hangs like a thick shroud. Beach date! I know, this is serious, but beach date! Oh, also look at the ambience. It's like, actually, is that just my computer doing the flux thing and making it yellow? Because blue light? Actually, let me check. Okay, so there is a bit of a tint to reflect that the day has, gone by and it's afternoon now. But yeah, no, it's my screen that looks more yellow because it's my night light turning on. So it is normal, I just checked. I don't get it. How can something that massive not damage itself in the process? You think it would have some armor or like lost some armor or left some sort of residue from a weapon. It's gotta be a squid. If it's a squid, why is it on land? Is it an octopus? Octopus can walk on land. Does it got suckers? How would that work? You know, these are hard hitting questions, game. It's hard hitting questions. Aloy, it's definitely unusual. Whatever this machine is, it's got to be tough. If this was done by the machine at all, it wasn't done by a human. It can't be. There's no magic in this game. True, it might not be, but it's all we have to go on. Maybe we can check around the broader area? We might have missed something. You might have missed these lips. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm one of those bitches who crack up at her own jokes. Anyway, moving on. Maybe tomorrow. It's getting late. We should probably make camp. Seyka grumbles and glances around her. Fine. You did also travel a long way on top of everything else we did. But not here. This place is too quiet. Who knows what may show up. And what they might hear. No, we could have my sunwing as a lookout, but agreed. This place doesn't feel right. I spotted a larger island to the east as we were coming in for a landing. It might be safer there. Oh, is she blushing a little? So no, is that her normal blush? Is her normal blush? She's blushing the normal amount. I can't tell anymore because there's a yellow tint to my computer because nightlight. I should take it off, but I don't wanna. I'm not gonna take it off. How long have I been streaming for at this point? About an hour. Okay. Friends. Everybody, I'm gonna keep going. That made it sound like I was gonna end it. Alright. Alright, lead the way. Actually, no. Let me take a break. I would like more water. I would like to get more water. So let me just take a break here and I'll be right back. Um, anyone, if you have any questions, direct them to my mod. For a second. I'll be back. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Hello, everyone. Anyone who's here. Hi. Hello. I went to retrieve more water. because I was laughing too hard. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the dulcet tones of the beach music as courtesy of Focus of the Heart. At least this won't get me like muted because I left the game on and they like copyrighted me for the music in the game that I'm playing. Yeah, let's continue. So Aloy slips onto the back of her sunwing and takes off, Seyka following along behind her on her skiff. It takes them a while, but eventually the island comes into view. Once again, Aloy makes it to the destination first. She begins unpacking and setting up her tent before digging out a small hole to use as a fire pit. Ooh, look at that background. And there's like little firelight. It's like embers just drifting into the sky. Yeah. Romantic. Ah, beach date, beach date. She's collecting firewood as Seiko arrives, dancing, deciding to let her do her own thing as she focuses on the task at hand. When she returns with an armful of wood, however, she sees Seika rummaging through the satchels on her skiff, her brow furrowed. Oh, did you misplace something? Yeah, I did, actually. Oh, what'd you misplace? Your heart? No. That's not even a good pickup line. I'm sorry. I'm jokey today. I'm jokey today. Anyway, Aloy places the wood down and walks over to her. Something wrong? I'm not gonna make another joke. I'm not doing it. I think I'm out of food. I could have sworn I packed an extra bundle of dried seaweed and meats, but I left in such a hurry I must have forgotten it. I wish there was. It wouldn't be Aloy if she did this, but I really wish there was an option to be like, "Oh, you're hungry? What about me? I'm a whole snack. I'm a meal." I'm stupid. I am real stupid today. Anyhow, and anyway, um, all right. So there's three options. What does Aloy suggest to Seika about food? I've got plenty. Want to split it? Want to hunt together? You could go hunt if you like. No, Aloy, don't send her off by herself. That's horror movie 101. You don't split the fucking party. That's also D&D 101, but sometimes you do split the party, but that's you're not supposed to do it. And also, how else are you gonna end up tumbling into the grass together while Upendi fucking plays and you two have another kiss or two certain places? You know what I mean? Listen, I kind of okay. So like I said, I keep choosing the middle options, and but like thing is, her splitting food with her is also cute. I also like the thought of them hunting together, because like when they first met each other, they just like fought machines and took them down together. And I don't know, it'd be kind of fun and a nice bonding moment to get hunt some food for Seika together in the darkness of the night. You know what I mean? I mean, Aloy also has. I mean, also split. I mean, but should they leave the camp? I want to split it, but also I want to hunt together. We're gonna hunt. Well, this island is a decent size. Maybe there's wildlife further inland to hunt. Hmm. The shot. I could do with going on a hunt. Honestly, might help me blow off some steam. Oh my god, that scared me. The sound of the growl. It actually terrified me. I was like, what the heck? I was like, oh my gosh, there's a bear. There's no bears in this game. Not unless you count the Ursas, the frost claws. They're not called Ursas. I was thinking Pokemon. Teddy Ursa. Just bought a bunch of Pokemon stuff for my nephew for his birthday. Not too long ago. Anyway, Aloy nods. She hears her own stomach growl at the thought of food and glances toward her supplies firmly secured to her sunwing's side. That's a lot of S's. She didn't need anything extra. She made sure to pack plenty. Alliteration is killing me tonight. I am I am, I am at its mercy. I had a brain fart for a second there. She could go over and grab something right now, but do you fancy some company? I fancy something. Seyka looks surprised at Aloy's suggestion. Seika's like, what? Someone wants someone wants a piece of this? Considering, I wonder what like Seika's own history is. She's probably around Aloy's same age. I don't remember how old Aloy is, but I think she's at least 19 years old in the game. Seika's around the same age. So like, I don't know. She's a marine though. Like, how much experience? Listen, it's not what she's suggesting. I'm just now thinking about it. Are you sure? Wouldn't you rather finish setting up camp first? I was. I'd rather be. I'd rather be finishing you. I gotta stop. Stop. But stop. I need a soundboard. I need a soundboard. That's what I need. Thing is, if I tried to get a soundboard, I would have so much more scuff. Would I be as bad as Amelie with all her scuff? I mean, well, the reason she has so much scuff is because she has a poor computer. I think it's just because I'm dumb. I'm very smart, but I'm also dumb. I mean, I could, but it's not like any of our stuff is going to get stolen while we're gone. We've got a pretty good lookout. Next scene, I pressed the next scene, and it's just the title card that says Aloy and Seyka's stuff got stolen. I mean, you shouldn't. You would think. She gestures to the sunwing, which lets out a small warble. Warble. Besides, with hunting, 2 pairs of eyes are better than 1, right? Seyka hesitates a moment, looking thoughtful before shrugging. Alright, if you insist. I can handle myself, though. I know. I just thought it was a good idea. Seyka turns away, but not before Aloy catches her smiling. Oh, look at that. Look at that awkward smile. Fair enough. See if you can keep up. She strides off into the wooded island interior, Aloy fumbling with her bow as she hurries after her. It takes them a while to find anything in the thick brush, but soon their hunt begins in earnest. Being an island, the size of their potential prey caps out at rabbits, which they both expected to be a difficult hunt due to their skittish nature and the dense foliage. Thankfully, it appears no other humans have set foot in the area since the time of the Old Ones, so the pair are able to dispatch the creatures with ease. I'm just remembering all those rabbits I've run over with my steeds. Just like, those cry. I'm a horrible person. Aw, come on, I totally had that one. Aloy hops over the rock she was hiding behind, grasping the now downed rabbit and holding it up triumphantly. She grins at Seyka and shrugs. that rabbit was having a watered down shit moment. It's like, if they catch you, they will kill you, but first they must catch you. Catches them. I need to stop. Hard luck, my arrow found its mark before yours did. Seyka grumbles a little as Aloy secures the rabbit to her belt. Aloy can feel her eyes on her, but she knows there's humor there. Despite everything, it didn't take long for the competitive natures to come out. That's rabbit number 2 for me. How many do you have again? Seyka shakes her head. Seyka shakes her... Shake. I would have 3 if you hadn't snuck up on it like that. Aloy chuckles, looking about her before gesturing onwards. Alright, guess we're out of time. First 1 to 3 wins? Seyka raises an eyebrow and grins. Oh, you're on. Ooh, that's a crazy look look in her eye. Love it, love it, love it. Look at that look in her eye. She's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna beat you. The final rabbit takes much longer for them to find. Though not because of their skills, the two start messing with each other, whether that be tripping the other or spooking the target before they could take the shot. Ayla finds herself laughing more than she has in a long, long while. Oh, that's sweet. It's Seyka who downs the final rabbit. She lets out a whoop of excitement and waves her catch at Ayla, grinning widely. Ayla can't help but return the infectious smile. What was that about your arrows finding their mark before mine? Oh, she looks absolutely fond. Ayla playfully rolls her eyes and lets out a snort of amusement. Alright, you've made your point. You win. Congratulations. How about we get some of these prepped and cooked? I'm starving. Again with the growl. No, I went too fast. I clicked it. 1 second. History. Thank goodness for history. Too far up. Okay. Let me find it. What was that about your arrows finding their mark before mine? Ayla playfully rolls her eyes and lets out a snort of amusement. Okay, yeah. Seyka goes to speak, but the loud rumbling of her stomach answers for her. She blushes as Ayla snickers. You're not you when you're hungry? I'm sorry, because the Snickers. I'm sorry. I'll take that as a yes. Okay, go on back. That's cute. Seyka mumbles something about knowing she has more hunting left in her, but she turns to follow Aloy back to the camp, regardless. Ooh. They both make quick work of the rabbits when they get back to the camp, skinning and dressing them with the ease and efficiency of experienced hunters. Aloy silently wonders if they caught a little too much food. She shouldn't have hunted on an empty stomach, but she cooks what she can, stores away the scraps for later. Finally, the pair settle in the fire, both digging into bowls piled high with rabbit stew. It isn't the best tasting dish, but they make do. I'm glad we did this. I still hear bubbling and scraping. I do like the ambience, but I'm gonna. Okay, lower that a little bit more. I'm glad we did this. Seyka scoops another mouthful of the stew into her mouth, chewing slowly as she looks at Aloy. Aloy nods, stirring her own dish as she does. Yeah, same. It's been a long time since I've hunted like that with a partner. Partner? Living with a group of people who are just as efficient, if not more so, meant we had supplies on hand practically all the time with no fear of running out. She pauses. Not that I want to experience food shortages, I just miss, the fun of it. Yeah, something like that. Seyka chuckles softly, shuffling a little closer to Aloy's side of the fire. I know what you mean. Back in training, back when we were taught the basics of survival, we'd be sent off in groups to hunt. Nothing serious at first, mainly just animals for food, with the occasional watcher or scrapper that caught wind of our machine kills. We were meant to be learning on how to take things seriously, but my teammates and I always found ways to make a game out of it. The thrill of the chase, the challenge of trying to one-up each other. It was the best feeling. Sure, we got reprimanded a lot, but it was worth a try. It was worth it. And hey, I turned out alright in the end. Her smile falters, brows knitting together. The compliance might think differently, though. My crewmates, too. Aloy pauses, then shakes her head. You did what needed to be done. If you hadn't picked up that focus, Kina and the others would have been shipped off to space, and the rest of you left to deal with the blast radius of Laundra's ship. What you did wasn't in line with tradition, but it was the right thing. Besides, based on what I heard back at landfall, the rest of your crew seemed to be pretty thankful for your efforts. You helped reunite them with the rest of the fleet. And let's not forget that Rang is still sitting in a jail cell, so you're safe from his stupidity. Ring, I forgot about Ring. Yeah, he's still. Slowly, she reaches a hand out and places it on Seika's. As the two lock eyes, Aloy feels her face flush, but she continues, ignoring how her pulse quickened as Seika's hands shifted to squeeze hers. Oh my god, it's happening! It's happening! Ah! I'm dumb. It's happening! You saved a lot of lives by doing what you did, Seyka. Don't ever forget that. Seyka stares at her quietly, cheeks tinting a soft pink. Her hand moves, but not away from Aloy's touch. Instead, she tentatively rubs her thumb across the bridge of Aloy's knuckles. Oh, that's crazy. She's pregnant now. No, that's not how that works. No, that's absolutely not how that works. Aloy feels her body stiffen slightly, the sensation sending goosebumps up her arm. Thank you, Aloy, but you did a lot too, you know? Couldn't have done all of that without you being there. Aloy can't stop herself from laughing softly. She squeezes Seika's hand. We did it. Together. Guess we make a good team, huh? Would you like to stay for dinner? Would you like to stay forever? Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know why that was the quote that came to mind. Yeah, we do. They both sit in silence for a moment, Aloy's stomach twisting in knots. She knows a difficult conversation is ahead, ever lurking in the shadows beyond the firelight like a silent stalker. I hate those. But now was not the time. She can't bring herself to ruin the easy peace they are sharing together at the moment. It reminds her of the time before, back when they were getting to know each other through teasing and laughter. She wants that again, needs that again. But she needs to be honest with Seyka first. She owes her that much. Yes, confess your love to her. Confess, Aloy. Quietly, they continue their meals, neither one relinquishing the gentle grip on each other's hands. As the moon rises on the horizon, Aloy begins horizon. Aloy begins. I mean, the name of the game is focused on the heart, but horizons are never mind. Anyway, no joke is good without it having been explained in full. You always have to explain your joke first. You always have to explain the entirety of it, especially if no one laughs. Aloy begins to clean up the leftovers and prepares to head to bed. She glances at Seyka as she goes to stand up and sees her staring intently out into the waves, body tensing every time there's a loud crash of waves. She pauses. Everything alright? Yeah, well, she sighs. I'm just thinking about the machine. We have no clue where it is, what it's doing. It could be out there right now, watching us. Oh geez, what a creep. Are they watching us hold hands? Oh my god. Pervert. Aloy joins her staring out to sea. If it is watching us, I doubt it would consider us much of a threat. We're just two people and a machine on a random beach. It didn't show up to go after your skiff, either. Based on what you said, it seems to prefer bigger targets. True. We don't know, though. Our ships might have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, we won't know anything more until we find it. You said it was large, right? Seyka nods. It was. I know I've seen bigger. We both have, but nothing that swam through the water as fast as that. Not even a tide ripper could get up to those speeds. What is it? Tell me. I know the review will be crazy, but I need to know. Please. You didn't get a good look at it at all? Seyka pulls her knees up and hugs them, her eyes still trained on the waves. I wish I did, but when something catches you off guard like that, it's hard to find the time to properly analyze it. All I know is that it looked as wide as one of our ships, but longer. Much longer. What is it? It's gotta be a kraken of some sort. Like it needs to be a kraken. Like we're gonna crack that kraken right open. So, we have hermit crab machines. I don't know. It'd be fun if we could do. Has anyone done a crab rave with the with the shell walkers? I no, we don't need to be doing that. I need to learn how to do that. I would like to make a crab rave with the shell walkers. I am easily distractible. It's clear that that's true here. I lost a viewer. Was it the joke? Probably was. I wish I did. Once, yeah, no, never mind. I got the long part. Long, long man. Anyway, maybe it had a spine on its back, or two, or three. I can't remember. It's all a blur. All I do know is that it had the capability to give my ship a bad enough shove to practically capsize it. That and take a chunk out of a nearby rock face. What? That sounds terrifying. Tell me about it. I haven't seen anything that large since. I really gotta stop. Since the Horus. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aloy nods sympathetically. She remembers her first time fighting some of the bigger machines out there. The frantic scrambling of her brain as she tried to figure out how best to take it down. But she had her focus and knew how to use it to scan the machines. Gwen didn't. Still don't, really. I swear to God, fighting the Horus was the craziest thing in Burning Shores. That was like, it was massive. I don't understand how Aloy took it down. It was basically fighting a dragon. Except, fuck all huger. Um, she guesses Seyka didn't have time to even think about using it for that purpose. It's not much to go on, that's true, but from what you're saying, it doesn't sound like anything I've encountered before. I wonder if anyone else has seen it, aside from you and the rest of the fleet. Seyka shrugs. Who knows? It's possible it's new. Maybe it hasn't even been named yet. How does Aloy suggest naming the machine? Well, she doesn't know what it looks like! She just said it had maybe 3 spines. What are we gonna call it? 3-spine? Names aren't important. Well, kind of. There was actually like one thing that I listened to was a podcast called Compelled Duel, and there was a character in who like they're the whole I think it was a Fearbulk, and its whole culture in that area was that like no one had an actual name. I think what they were called was that one. That's like literally that's like this one or that one, this one's brother. Like that's how what they would refer to themselves and other people like all the time. So no names, just none. Which wasn't like entirely like really it wasn't confusing necessarily, but like I think it'd be fun to maybe try it. I don't want to say you could try. I think it's like an interesting opportunity. Well, you're the first one to name it. Name it Seyka. No, don't name it after yourself. That's bad. Everyone's gonna say. Well, no. I mean, it depends. Do you want everyone saying your name in fear? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, also getting her to try and name it might give me a better idea of what it is, and I'm more interested in that right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it's an interesting opportunity. I guess naming it is our job then. It's the water splasher. Aloy, really? The water splasher? Okay, listen, I know Tide Ripper isn't necessarily the most unique name, but like, Tide Ripper sounds cool. Thunderjaw sounds cool. Slaughter Spine? Slaughter Spine is crazy. That's terrifying. Like a horrible name. Like a horrid, like scary name. Grazers, Scrappers, Watchers. The Watcher's probably the most common name. It's supposed to be like a velociraptor. The Burrowers are a very common name too. They're kind of just otters to some degree. But like, so Water Splasher's bad. But you know, Aloy, creativity like that isn't your strong suit. Aloy's words seem to shatter a lingering tension off Seyka, whose laughter seems to startle even herself. It's earnest and so sad in its rarity, and it's the most musical thing Aloy has ever heard. Damn. Okay, it was a good choice. Thank you, Aloy, for being so silly. Not for the first time, and Aloy suspects not for the last, she marvels at how wrong it is that Seyka cannot be so freely joyful all the time, with Quen protocols hanging over her like a blinding fog. Okay, it's decided. We're gonna kill all the Quen royalty. All the big guys who are trying to withhold information and knowledge, they're all gonna die. That's the third game. That'll be my main goal. Fuck the main quest. I will be just killing those dudes. How dare they make it hard for Seyka to be happy? You know what I mean? Absolutely not. I'm destroying them all with my my bow. That's also lovely, like imagery, like a blinding fog. I like that. I love that. Hey, go easy on me. I'm usually too busy fighting the machines to think about naming them. Yeah, usually they already have names at that point. You don't need to. No, of course, it's a good start. Well, how about you impart some wisdom on the situation, What would you call it, marine? And no calling it aquatic rang. Seyka lets out a snort of amusement, looking at Aloy incredulously. Aquatic rang. Could I use a codename like Pain in the Bass? I don't think I'd be able to keep a straight face around him if you did that. Ha, duly noted. Well, ideally we'd get a long, up-close view of it, without the machine trying to kill us first. Ah! Oh, that was scary. The flash of that was scary. I didn't like that at all. Aloy feels her chest tighten suddenly, and can't understand why until she remembers tumbling through the endless water, where she up and down became indistinguishable, and writhing metal reaches to drag her down, down, down. I knew it! I knew it was the same thing. It is a water related. She'd almost kill her. It got tentacles. It's the Kraken. It's the Kraken. Getting close to these things in the water isn't always the best. Well, you don't need to tell me that. Okay, I know it doesn't mean that it's the same thing, but like obviously it's all signs point to it being the same thing. Aloy, wait, work through your trauma, damn it. Something in Aloy's rattled expression registers to Seyka. Her face twists in concern. Did you see that big machine on the way over here? No, but there was another one, at a place called an aquarium. It used to house fish and other large aquatic life, and there was a machine living there I hadn't seen before. And it definitely wasn't this one? No, there was data on that one. It's called a crack spike. It had these long metal appendages it used like hands, like a leaf lasher's claw. Are you freaking kidding me? So it's not the same one. So there was data on the crack spike, which, you know what, I kind of like that. And also, it took the name that I was trying to suggest for the one that Seyka was talking about. The Kraken. It's like, it's the crack spike, so it's a Kraken. She was in the wrong anime, so. And then it's like, no, but like Seyka just said she doesn't know what it looks like. And Aloy didn't see the machine that attacked the Quen vessel. She didn't see it. She's like, no, there was data on that one. It's called a crack spike. Do you think it's the same thing? But like, Seyka just said she doesn't know what it looks like. And she said there was like 3 spikes on it. Maybe it is the same one. You don't know. You don't know. I know you said that this data on this one, maybe it's like an evolution of it. Because I know there's like, for example, like the bellowbacks. There's like 2 different kinds. There's the freeze bellowback and the bellowback, and then the frost claw also has a fire claw. There are like machines that have variations on other machines. So maybe it's another type of crack spike? And you fought that thing underwater? That sounds horrible. I escaped it underwater. I couldn't fight it. Then you did the only thing you could do. You fought by escaping and surviving. Maybe someday we can fight things like that, but for now our biggest advantage is being above the waves. Not even the old ones perfected underwater travel, apparently. Yeah, you're right. Considering the whole story about the submersible, no, they did not. I brought up the tin can again. I know I am. I know the ocean. Just by getting away, you managed something incredible. Yeah, the ocean's crazy. Like, Moby Dick wasn't lying. The ocean was horrifying. I can't imagine being the people in those days. Technically, Seyka's those people in those days. The sea is wild. The sea is crazy. It is unforgiving, and it has 20-foot, 10-foot waves that'll crack your ship in half. That's insane. It's scary. You know what I mean? And people looked out into the dark expanse of the ocean. Of course, they kind of looked at it and went like, "That's hell. That's just like." And then people had scurvy. I hope you don't have scurvy, Seyka. Of course she doesn't. She's fine. She looks perfectly healthy. Look at her. So, like, listen to Seyka. It's no surprise given everything else you've done, but I'm glad you made it out. And you still came all the way here to fight a machine in the water? I had to. For what it's worth, I feel better not going at this alone. And what happened with that crack spike won't happen here. I can guarantee that. She wants to protect you. Aloy, let her hold you in her strong arms. It'll be okay. It'd be nice for that to happen because Aloy's been saved before, but I would love it if someone just comforted her. And I just like I would love to see and get that from this storyline. Because saying the crack spike is like from the jump, I wonder how that works out with all the other storylines. I can't see Nil comforting Aloy through that. Seikoi is Seikoi. Seikoi? Where did that come from? Did I just like combine? No, I combined Seyka and Aloy's names. Seikoi. Now I just kind of like want a mermaid version of like Seyka and like as a koi mermaid. Never mind. Excuse me. I burped again. I don't need you feeling you have to protect me, Seyka. That's what I'm supposed to be doing for you. Aloy, I will shake you. You can protect her, just let her protect you too, damn it. I will shake you. Shake you so hard you'll think the crack spike came back. Probably not that bad. I probably won't do. Alright, let's go. Oh yeah? Yep. You've got to master the ocean here. That Dreadmaw doesn't stand a chance. Dreadmaw? Is that what you're calling it? She tries for assuring, but the hard lines of Seyka's poisture, Latoya. Dreadmaw, very fitting. Good thinking. I don't know where I'm going with this. Dreadmaw, very fitting. Good thinking. I kind of like that. That's a good name. A Dreadmaw? Not for the first time, Aloy noticed the wariness living Seyka, afraid at the edges. The facade of strength she wears serves only to cling like a veil to the tense lines of her frame, to throw into sharp relief the worry lines striped into her brow. I wonder if Seyka looks at you, Aloy, and sees something similar. The illusion of control is a force of habit Aloy can too easily relate to, and one she hopes Seyka might break. The better to give herself some long overdue peace. Right, Aloy? If we want to take this thing down at once and for all, we better rest. I mean, you've learned the lesson a little bit, Aloy, but you still gotta learn better. Her own muscles ache, feeling the full brunt of all the exertion she put herself through just this one day. I almost wish it would just show up so we could get this over with. This dread, all this waiting, it has me on edge. It's almost like I never even relaxed after we rescued my sister and stopped Mondra. Yeah, because your world opened up so massively that it's hard to really like reconcile with it. I wouldn't either if you went from just a marine to suddenly having all that knowledge of like what's going on with the Zeniths and this fucking AI coming for Earth that's like amalgamation of all these horrible, stupid, selfish, destructive people coming straight to Earth with nothing but rage and hatred in them, I would too. I would be really like not okay, because like Seyka probably knows about that, right? Because they tussled with Laundra, and I can't imagine Aloy hasn't like filled her in with what's going on there. So like, fuck, I wouldn't know what to do with it either. I wouldn't relax either. I know what you must be feeling, but believe me, you look exhausted, and that's because you are. Give yourself some rest, Seyka. You're trying to protect your people again. If not for yourself, then rest up for them. Wait, does Burning Shores happen specifically before the end of the game? I don't remember. I think Burning Shores happens after the end of the game. Because, like, you can go to Burning Shores before the end of the game. Well, actually, can you? I can't remember. I remember it said you can't go this far or else you would go into Burning Shores and you gotta, like, you gotta stop. You gotta chill. Seyka once said Kina can read the stars the way scholars. Ugh! Starting over. Seyka once said Kina could read the stars the way scholars read scrolls. But in this moment, Seyka gives Aloy the kind of searching look she swears she can see right through her. Or is trying to, anyway. To find secrets Aloy herself barely knows how to handle. But a smile, watered down by fatigue, but only just, tugs at Seyka's lips as she strides over to her gear. She starts sorting through her meager possessions. Maybe you could lead by example then? You did travel across the ocean, fight some ugly machines and everything else since you left Fleet's End. When you put it like that, we both have just been through a lot, huh? Yeah, you think? Someone has to pull all this weight around here. She tosses a cloth bundle at Aloy. I need water. Let me drink more water. Holy hell. Do you enjoy that ASMR? I don't know if you can hear it on the mic. I probably mute myself before I drink water. Oh, I got another viewer. Was it because I drank water? Including this. Help me get set up? Of course. Between each of them, they have just enough to give themselves something of a shelter and a space to sleep. The haphazard setup would probably scandalize most of Meridian, and both Seyka and Aloy have certainly slept in better conditions, but they've also slept in far worse too. Not too bad. So who's taking first watch? Ooh, not a bad idea. The sun wing will do the trick. I mean, it means more time sleeping next to Seyka if I let the Sunwing do it, but it doesn't feel like Aloy to let the machine handle it for her. You know what I mean? Not a bad idea, or let me take a look around. I want to say not a bad idea because I feel like that's the one that'll encourage them both to go together. But like that's not the point, is it? You're supposed to take first watch. You said first watch. I'm gonna say not a bad idea because that's what's calling to me. I lost another viewer again. They heard that joke and they were like, "Nope, pervert, gotta leave." I promise I'm normal. I'm not normal. I just mean not like that. I'm shooting myself in my own foot. All right. At least I'm not those dumbasses in a tin can. Anyway, not a bad idea. Aloy pauses, tilting her head thoughtfully. That's a good point, actually. The Sunwing would make a good enough lookout, but it wouldn't hurt to have someone out here just for a bit. I'll be honest, though, after all the traveling I've done today, I'm not sure I'd make a good lookout. Would probably end up falling asleep, but I can try? Seyka is silent, raising an eyebrow. She looks like she's about to say something, but instead just sighs and shrugs her shoulders. That's fair. I can sit out for a bit. I'm still pretty tense from the fight earlier anyway. I think I need a moment to calm down. No, I think I made a wrong choice. She's disappointed that I'm leaving her. She wanted some snooky. Schmooky? what's the word? You know what I mean? She wanted some snooze. She's disappointed because she wanted to like love up on us. Like absolutely, she was like, she honestly it would just probably be the equivalent of her reaching out her hand and then both blushing furiously into the night and falling asleep together. Like I think that's what she wanted. She wanted to spend more time with you to play like. Aloy, are you asleep yet? No. Like you know what I mean? I made the wrong choice. But it really doesn't feel like Aloy to like let the Sunwing handle it. But Aloy nods, glancing at the Sunwing settled nearby. As well as they'd fought together earlier, there was still a tension between them. A little distance would do both of them some good. Would it? Would it? Okay, right, but again, don't worry about staying out too long. You'll need all your energy for tomorrow. Seyka chuckles and shrugs her shoulders as she settles beside the fire once more, rolling her shoulders and trying not to yawn. Alright, no need to boss me about. Oh, so Seyka's taking first watch. Okay. I think I misunderstood. But I guess that's also part of why she's so disappointed. She's like, I don't want to do this. I want to sleep. She's blushy though. She's blushing a little bit. Thing is, I know she says she doesn't like don't boss me around, but she probably likes it a little bit. She shakes her head. Aloy can't see her face anymore, but she swears she sees her raising an eyebrow incredulously. She lets out a soft snort of her own. Alright, noted. See you later, Seyka. Yeah, night. Don't snore too loud. Excuse me? I sleep like an angel. I've never snored a day in my life. It's over between us. No, I'm joking. Aloy blinked slowly awake, the events of the previous day creeping around the periphery of her thoughts. She stifles those memories before they can Okay, sound it out. Crescendo. Crescendo. Okay, I can actually pronounce words now. And as her fatigue lifts, she finds her surroundings are remarkably quiet. Peaceful, even. Welcoming. Aloy has her Sunwing attack the camp. No, she's like, no, this is not right. I can't work under these conditions. Aloy feels a firm warmth blanketing her. Though I can't speak again. Though she remembers foregoing a blanket, lest an ambush required her to leap quickly into action. When her vision clears, she's greeted with a shocking sight. It's Seyka! On top of you? Next to you? They fell asleep clutching each other. Oh yeah, I was right! Woo! Look at that spread. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Seiko was like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up before her and she's not gonna notice a thing. But Seika was like, she got caught. I love it. I love this. Look at Aloy's face. She's so blushy. She's like, oh my god. Like, this is amazing. I love this. This is such a pretty spread too. Look at all that. Look at the ocean in the distance. The Sunwing respectfully looking away. I see nothing. I can't see the gate. Honestly, I kind of would love it if the Sunwing was looking at them and we just live Sunwing reaction. And Seyka is slumbering peacefully beside her, head resting at Aloy's shoulder like it's the most comfortable spot. I was about to say uncomfortable. Comfortable spot this side of landfall. Her free arm is wrapped around Aloy's torso, gentle yet secure, warmth radiating from every point of contact. Bet it is. Sleep smooths the tension hewn into Seyka's brow. Left loose, her limbs lay splayed against Aloy like a plant seeks the sun. Ooh, getting a little poetic here. Dawn has blanketed them both in a glittering hue of honey gold. one that radiates more warmth than the sun across Aloy's skin, and deeper still to the recesses of her heart that only just started to stir on a gilded beach not far from here. Ooh! Every breath tickles Aloy's bare neck with a whispered promise of something addictive, endless, terribly frightening, and unimaginably wonderful. Something she has all the words for, but no name. It's called love, Aloy! It's called love, Aloy! Come on, get your act together. You've already kissed this girl. Kiss the girl again. Not while she's sleeping, by the way. Consent. But, like, unless she agrees to that and that's something that she likes. What is that called? Somophilia? Listen, I've read some fanfic. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I've read some fanfic. Honestly, this reads as a like really good fanfic, and I love it. I love this so much. It's so great. It's just mwah, mwah, piece of resist. Like it's just like my compliments to the chef. I love this. I love this so much. Carefully pull away. Give Seyka space. Remain with Seyka. No, I'm not doing any of those other options. I'm clearly choosing remain with Seyka. When Aloy looks down at Seyka, it's like they're both back at the beach, fresh with their triumph against Londra, and the thrilling relief of not just surviving, but felling a metal devil. For a moment, now, just as then, anything is possible, and the future exists only in the softened lines of Seyka's face, her untroubled breathing, and the sure way she holds onto Aloy even in sleep. Excuse me, I needed to burp again. I'm just very burpy today, and you know what I mean? But also, I'm so happy. This is so cute. It's just adorable. Look at her, look at her. She's, that girl is gay. That girl is in love. That girl is, fucked. In a good way. Not like that, I didn't mean it like that. Well, I mean, it'll eventually be like that. But anyway. The world has shrunk now to the warm ring of Seyka's embrace, and yet this space just for them holds a whole future of possibilities. Aloy has felt this warmth before, has but once felt another's pulse set sweet marching beat for her discordant emotions to find purpose in. Once there was a beach, and once her and Seyka's lips found the other. This is even more proximity, more languid intimacy than their kiss. With Seyka pressed so close, Aloy remembers it now, as vivid as that very sunset, the infinite instant when falling became flying, when trepidation became elation, and the gilded twilight of life as she knew it. I feel like the music needs to swell with this. The music's great, but I'm over here hearing like Twilight music. I'm sorry. This is a better love story than Twilight. Like, immensely so. And I love this. This is so good. Ah! My compliments to the chef once again. A gentle shudder passes through Seyka, and Aloy is able to feel every shift of movement as Seyka stretches. Her dark eyes blink the drowsiness away, and that's when Seyka realizes their position. Aloy is treated to each ripple of Seyka's lean muscles beside her, as she makes up her mind through the lingering drowsiness of sleep. Finally, Seyka sits up, but the veil of fatigue continues to soften her edges, tugs her lips up into a sleepy, if abashed, smile, and keeps Seyka leaning just enough against Aloy for her to feel a warm shudder jolt through her. The point of contact, the stretch of their morning, chilled skin just below the sleeves, feels like too much and not enough. Rip each other's clothes off. No. This is so cute. It is nothing compared to the scorching cradle of Seyka's strong hand against her cheek, keeping her anchored, as if the power of her intense gaze weren't enough. This has lasted several minutes. Just intense, gazing into each other. I know she's sleepy, but still, like, you know, you look at me, I look at him kind of shit. And I love it. Aloy allows her to lean just a bit more into that touch, imagining just for a moment Seyka's palms sliding over her and exploring new territory. New territory. Ooh la la. Aloy's not gonna be a virgin anymore any longer. Would Aloy reciprocate? Why couldn't they have stayed entangled just a minute more, the better to understand the natural fit of their arms around one another? Over the delighted hammering of her heart, Aloy manages to speak. Hey. Hi? There's a moment of silence between them as the pair steadily begin to process what happened. Aloy's nerves still thrum with the ghost of Seyka's touch, quickly becoming a very familiar weight beside her. Once she suddenly feels adrift without. You know what would be really fucked up is if it turns out that I haven't been able to hear my voice this entire time. Because I haven't been listening to the audio of my stream. But now I'm suddenly like scared of that. But like, it'll be fine. I'll listen back to it later. The Streamlabs says it can hear me. I trust it. Mostly. I don't trust you. Anyway, Seyka visibly swallows. Aloy watches the tense movement. I like the movement with her throat and wonders for a wild, thrilling, terrifying moment of pressing her lips to Seyka's skin would melt the tension there the same way Seyka had melted her own core just a few months ago. Aloy can barely accept that she'd been close enough to check moments before. I'm sorry, I didn't mean... It's okay, don't worry about it. Seyka shuffles nervously, glancing over at Aloy a few times. Her hand drifts to where Aloy had been leaning into her. Delicate but strong fingertips dancing light as breath over the exposed skin Aloy misses already. Seyka opens her mouth, then closes it before deciding how to proceed. Ugh, I need water. Oh my god, I'm already at the 2-hour mark, but like... But I need to continue this scene. Like, let's just wait till it, like, I'm gonna keep going. Until I conclude this particular scene. But I'm close to ending the stream soon, but like, oh my gosh! You can hear the echo of my water bottle, I'm sorry. I think I'll go make a start on something to eat. Aloy wants to say more, wants to turn around and find herself nestled back into the corner of the burning shores, carved out just to them. But she finds herself startled in silence by the quiet appraisal Seyka casts her way. It can only be described as mournful joy. For just an instant, the Quen Marine shrugs off all pretense of propriety and simply, openly, yearns. Aloy wonders how the lines of Seyka's face would feel under her fingers while she wears that expression. Would Aloy's touch sculpt that unfamiliar want into something wilder under her touch? Ooh! Ooh, okay, we're thinking about that now? Seyka seems to brace herself, a small task demanding every ounce of resolve. Her eyes rove once more across Aloy's face, and wherever her gaze passes over the freckled skin, Aloy feels herself set alight. The only sign that her inner fire is spilling out is a satisfied tug of Seyka's smile as she shifts her weight, nods, and brushes by, lingering perhaps just a moment too long, and not long enough when she does so. It's only because they're so close once again that Aloy catches sight of sadness weighing on Seyka's features, as if in retaliation for enjoying a moment's peace. Kiss her, you fool! Kiss her now! Probably not a good idea, but like you need to like, if there's like some mournfulness or sadness, and it's like says in retaliation for enjoying a moment's peace, is it because Seyka feels like she doesn't feel like she deserves to have this, or doesn't have the space to enjoy it, or is it because Aloy said goodbye once before and thinks that this can never be a permanent thing between them? Aloy! Okay. Alright. The moment has passed. So this is where I'm gonna save. They had a cute little moment, a gay little moment. and it was perfection. But it has been 2 hours, and my throat needs its rest. So thank you all for joining me for the stream. Anyone who came in to watch, however long you stayed, thank you for your patience for my initial scuff and me starting and restarting my stream like twice. So thank you so much. And all of you have a lovely, lovely night. Let me go ahead and save this one. I know I quick saved, but I'm gonna go ahead and save right there. Thank you all for joining me. And I hope you all have a good, great night. You know, thank you so much. Good night, all.